Yemen after 5 months looks like Syria after 5 years. That's how the head of the International Red Cross described Yemen after a recent visit. Nearly 4,000 people have been killed since a coalition led by Saudi Arabia and backed by the United States started bombing Yemen on March 25th. Half the dead are civilians. Hundreds are only children. In all, over 1.5 million Yemenis have fled their homes. The coalition wants to kick out the Houthis, an armed movement from the country's north that took over the capital and much of the country last year. The Houthis, they say they're fighting a central authority that, backed by Saudi Arabia and its allies, has historically persecuted them. And both sides have been accused of putting civilian lives at risk. Airstrikes have killed hundreds of civilians, and human rights groups say the Saudi coalition has targeted densely populated areas. They've also accused both the Houthis and pro-government forces of routinely attacking populated areas with imprecise heavy weapons. Yemen is the poorest country in the Arab world, with weak infrastructure and an impoverished population. Even before the war, 60% of Yemenis needed food and emergency relief. Now, with the fighting blocking access to food and major ports destroyed, that number has reached 80%. And a recent coalition airstrike on the Hodeidah port, a key hub for getting food into northern Yemen, is likely to make things worse. Things are so bad now that the World Food Programme is saying that Yemen is just one step away from famine, and children are the worst affected. 1.8 million kids will suffer from malnutrition if the fighting continues, and their futures are also under threat. More than 400 schools have been damaged or destroyed, and hundreds of others have been occupied either by armed groups or families fleeing the fighting. Thousands of schools remain shut, leaving 2 to 3 million Yemeni kids without an education. And now, the coalition says it will keep fighting until it recaptures the capital, Sana'a. One of the oldest cities in the world, a lot of Sana'a's heritage has been destroyed over the past 5 months. Ahead of the coming assault, residents have been told to flee, but fuel shortages make that virtually impossible for many. So it looks like the humanitarian crisis is only going to get worse.